Man, there has been so much today, and I truly don't know where to start. So I'm just going to make sure that we start off with a few facts. So, a couple of facts that we need to make clear for everyone is that number one, director Christopher Wray, when he was appointed to be the head of the FBI, was appointed by Donald Trump. Now, I will agree that I definitely take issue with a number of decisions that Donald Trump makes, especially when it comes to the people that he decides to appoint to very important positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy.
Jasmine Crockett walked into that hearing like she was clocking in for demolition duty, and Kash Patel just happened to be the condemned building. He sat there dressed up as the FBI director, a role usually reserved for people with deep law enforcement resumes. Years in the trenches, and the kind of experience you can't fake. Patel? He pulled up with none of that. No FBI field work. No history of leading major law enforcement operations. Not even a Senate-confirmed role before Trump hand-delivered him the job like a party favor. Crockett didn't bother with the warm-up. She looked straight at Patel and called him what he is, the least qualified FBI director. Patel tried to block, repeating, "Not true," like a broken record, hoping that if he said it twice, the truth would change. It didn't. Crockett, cool and cutting, leaned in and told him, "We're just trying to figure out how to tell you bye-bye. We need the best professional, and that ain't you." The silence after was heavier than his entire resume. It hit because everybody knows the FBI. Director seat ain't supposed to be an entry-level internship. Past directors came stacked with DOJ chops, prosecutorial power, or at least serious national security weight. Patel rolled in like he was applying to coach the Lakers because he once watched a basketball game. When Crockett dropped the line, it wasn't just a roast, it was a fact check with flavor. The gangsta translation was clear. "Crockett, we need a heavyweight in that chair." Patel, "But I did shadowboxing in my garage." Crockett, "Nah, fam. Loyalty to Trump ain't a resume. You don't get the badge just because your boy said you're cool." By the end, Patel's "not true" sounded like background noise. Crockett wasn't debating. She was writing his exit memo live. And when she says bye-bye, you better believe it's more than words. That's the sound of the door already closing. Introducing the Mobux Virtual Sound Machine V6. The funniest, flashiest soundboard for creators. 16 dynamic pads. Glowing LED lights. Image Plus, sound banks in every pad. Dock mode for streamers. And yeah, you can even record your own gangsta one-liners right into the machine. This isn't some boring sound. This is plaid-powered performance. Built for streamers, YouTubers, DJs, comedians, and anybody who wants to turn content into a show. Upload your memes. Drop your sounds. Smash the pads. Watch the lights glow as your audience goes wild. Don't just play sounds. Perform them. Download the Mobux Virtual Sound Machine today and turn your content into a concert. Kash Patel really thought he was about to shine in the spotlight of the Charlie Kirk shooting. Instead, he turned that light on himself and got exposed like somebody who brought a squirt gun to a heavyweight fight. The man grabbed a microphone, puffed out his chest, and told America that the suspect who shot Kirk was already in custody. He said it twice, like he wanted to make sure the cameras got his good side. Problem is, it was the wrong man. Think about that for a second. The director of the FBI, the guy who's supposed to be the calm voice in the storm, basically pointed at a random dude and said, "We got him." Then the truth trickled out. Nope, they didn't. The man was questioned, released, and walking free while the actual suspect was still out there. Patel pulled off the law enforcement version of celebrating a touchdown at the 20-yard line and then fumbling the ball on national TV. This wasn't a slip of the tongue. This was a man so eager to prove he belonged in that director's chair that he forgot the first rule of the game. Verify before you testify. He didn't coordinate with local police, didn't double-check the facts, didn't pause for clarity. He just jumped out the window. And unfortunately for him, there was no parachute. When Crockett told him he was the least qualified FBI director ever. This was Exhibit A. What makes it even worse is the bravado. Kash said it like he was delivering gospel truth, like he was the star quarterback calling the final play. But when the correction came out, he looked like the water boy sneaking onto the field in somebody else's jersey. That kind of mistake doesn't just embarrass him. It damages the credibility of the Bureau. People, here we have the shooter in custody from the FBI director. They believe it. When it turns out false, trust evaporates. And in law enforcement, trust is the whole currency. The gangster breakdown goes like this. Patel was out here yelling, "Game over!" before the game even started. He crowned himself champ before lacing up his shoes. And then Crockett stepped in and basically said, "Fam, sit down. You're playing junior varsity with varsity equipment." She already had him bleeding in the other hearing, telling him, "We're figuring out how to tell you bye-bye." Now she's got a fresh reason to escort him out the building. What's wild is how slow the correction came. Patel could have stepped back up to the mic, owned the error, clarified, and salvaged a shred of dignity. Instead, the not true defense rolled out like a flat tire, slow, clunky, and leaving sparks on the road. By the time he tried to patch it, the narrative had already gone viral. FBI director announces wrong man. Trust in shambles. That kind of stumble follows you around forever. It's not just a mistake. It's a signature move. Now, so here we are. Patel wanted to look like the hero who brought justice in record time. Instead, he ended up the punchline, the guy who handed out false hope before the dust settled. Crockett didn't even need to add bars this time. His own actions wrote the verse. The least qualified FBI director. After this Kirk debacle, the title doesn't sound like an insult anymore. It sounds like the official job description, and when Crockett finally waves him off with that bye-bye, understand this. It's not personal, it's professional. She's cutting him loose because in a job that demands precision, Patel showed up with nothing but improv. America needed a steady hand, and Kash Patel came through like an offbeat hype man rapping over the wrong track. No one's dancing to that!
Man, there has been so much today, and I truly don't know where to start. So I'm just going to make sure that we start off with a few facts. So a couple of facts that we need to make clear for everyone is that, number one, Director Christopher Wray, when he was appointed to be the head of the FBI, was appointed by Donald Trump. Now, I will agree that I definitely take issue with a number of decisions that Donald Trump makes, especially when it comes to the people that he decides to appoint to very important positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining. Yet we are supposed to believe that
That's
you are
false.
the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I
Still
want to go
false.
through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that